Good morning everybody. Today is the last story about Mrs. Pepperpot, and today she's at the bazaar. Shall we see what she does there? One day Mrs. Pepperpot was in the kitchen with her young friend Hannah, this must be Hannah, who was busy scraping out a bowl and licking the spoon. For the old lady had been making gingerbread men. Wow! Oh, look, the cat's eating some things too. There was a knock at the door. And in walked 1, 2, 3 very smart ladies. Good afternoon, said the smart ladies. We are collecting prizes for the raffle at the school bazaar. Do you have something little we could have? I would like to help, says Mrs. Pepperpot. Would a plate of gingerbread be any use? Why, of course, said the smart ladies. But as they was leaving, they laughed behind their back. What a funny old lady, and what a silly prize. I don't think it's a silly prize, do you? She's rolling out. Mrs. Pepperpot was very proud and pleased that she was going to a bazaar. Hannah was still scraping away at the bowl and licking the mixture from the spoon. May I come with you, she asked. Of course, says Mrs. Pepperpot. Be here at 6 o'clock. And as she started making another batch of gingerbread shapes, can we guess what happened? But when Hannah came back at 6, the old woman was not there. And she could hear an odd noise coming from the table. Look, she's under the mixing bowl. I bet she's very dirty. The mixing bowl was upside down, so she lifted it carefully, and there underneath sat her friend, who was now as small as a pepper pot. Shall I like this, look? What a nuisance, says Mrs. Pepperpot. I was just cleaning out the bowl when I suddenly started shrinking. Then the bowl turned over onto me. Quick, get the gingerbread out of the oven before it burns. That was lucky that she came back before it burns. Oh no, it was too late. The gingerbread was burnt to a cinder. Mrs. Pepperpot sat down and cried. She was very disappointed. But suddenly she laughed out loud and said, Hannah, pop me under the tap and give me a good wash. She definitely needs one. We're going to the bazaar, you and I. But you can't go like that, said Hannah. Oh yes I can, says Mrs. Pepperpot, as long as you do what I say. First, she asked Anna to fetch a silk ribbon and tie it round her so she looked like a skirt. There you look. Then she told her to fetch some tinsel from the Christmas decoration. Anna wound it round and round to make a silver bodice. And lastly, she made a bonnet of golden foil. Wow, she looks very pretty. I promised them a prize for the bazaar, and a prize they must have, says Mrs. Pepperpot. So I'm giving them myself. Just put me down in front of them and say you've bought a clockwork doll. Then pretend to wind me up so that people can see how clever I am. Oh, what a good idea. Pretending to be a doll this time. When Anna got to the bazaar, she put the wonderful doll on the table. There she is, look. People clapped their hands and crowded round to see. What a pretty doll, they said. And what a lovely dress. Look at her golden bonnet. Mrs. Pepperpot stood completely still. Can you stand completely still? And Hannah pretended to wind her up. Everyone was watching, and when Mrs. Pepperpot began to walk across the table, there was great excitement. Can you see her walking? Look. Look, the doll can walk. But when Mrs. Pepperpot began to dance, they started shouting with delight. The doll is dancing. Wow, I bet you've not got a doll that can dance. The 3 smart ladies sat in their special seats. You see them, look, and looked very grand. One of them had given 6 coffee cups for the raffle. The second a lovely table mat, and the third a beautiful cake. Here's the cups, the mat and the cake, look. They thought the doll was wonderful. Mrs. Pepperpot went over to speak to them. The 3 smart ladies was very pleased. Come to me, said one who had given the coffee cups. Let me hold her a little, says the lady with the table mat. No, it's my turn, said the lady with the ice cake. Well, I must say, this is a much better prize than the one that funny old woman offered us today. And now, she should never have said that. Uh-oh, what's happened? Mrs. Pepperpot leaped out her hand and landed plop right in the middle of the beautiful ice cake. Then she waded straight through it. The cake lady screamed, ah! But people were shouting and laughing by now. Take that doll away, shrieked the second lady. Squish, squash went Mrs. Pepperpot's sticky feet. right across the lovely table mat. Oh, that's dirty now. Get the dreadful little doll away from us, cried the third lady. But it was too late. Mrs. Pepperpot was on the tray with the coffee cups and began to dance and jig. Cups and saucers flew out and broke into little pieces. What to do? Uh-oh. Suddenly it was time for the raffle. First prize would be the wonderful clockwork doll. Someone said. When Anna heard that, she was a little frightened. What would happen if someone won Mrs. Pepperpot? That's not going to be very good. She might go to someone's different house. At last, the winning number was called, and it was 311. Anna looked at the ticket in her hand. What a piece of luck. It was number 311. Hooray, she cried and showed her ticket. Here it is, look. So Hannah was allowed to take Mrs. Pepperpot home. Next day, the old woman was in a proper sized dress again. You're my very own Mrs. Pepperpot, said Hannah, because I won you at the bazaar. Hope you enjoyed. See you all soon. Bye.